said campaign last time. If I had an extra one, I said, my first suggestion is get an elected mayor, mentioning no names. Okay, so now I want to wade into this. This is the right old thing, the transport thing, that's good. No, I'm a sort of car-free sort of person, so I agree with all this. But I think you do need an adapter plug between the two sides, because you get all the greenies and things, they all love it, they think it's great. Most people don't. They're really stuck to their cars like limpets. So we need to provide some kind of adapter plug there. And I would like to see the council encourage car share things. So, okay, we are going to need cars, it's very nice to have cars, but you don't need to have one for every house sitting out there rusting most of the time and then clogging up the city's arteries every time. We need far, far fewer private vehicles, but they don't need to belong to a house. So if the city can actually make it easy, I mean, like they can use the bus lanes, they're not charged, you have special parking places only for these things. It's very nice, these kind of car share things. You save a lot of money, and you've got someone else looking after you and worrying about it. I think it's brilliant. So I think that's my first suggestion. Get into these car club type things, and the city doesn't need to run it themselves, but it could encourage it and make it easy. Another one is a bit of a geeky one. This one is you've got there's something called the Merton Rule. I don't think people for the planning authorities. Okay, and that's Merton Rule says you've got to have 10% or something of your when you're giving planning permission for new buildings, 10% has got to come from on-site renewable energy. And the point of this is not particularly to encourage on-site renewable energy, but to force the builders to reduce the total demand, because 10% of a lot is so you've got to shrink. So it's a very good rule, and 10% is quite good. But I think it might be a little bit short-sighted. What a great thing that's happened in Leicester is that you've got this ratcheting ladder. You know, every year it gets 11%, 12%. It now stands at 14%, and it's going to keep going higher and higher. And I think this is a great initiative. I really applaud that. It's very good. But what I think would be interesting, more flexible, is if for everything above 10%, you did allow for off-site stuff. Now, this sounds a bit funny, but there's definitely a limit to what you can do on a single site with renewables. And as a nation, we need to encourage big collective solutions. We really need to start opening up to the big supplies of renewable energy, and that needs investment. And at the moment, not a lot is happening because the usual rules of globalization and everything like that just mean that nobody can see 3 inches in front of their face. But when we got the planning system and so on, we can get local authorities starting to buy into these big networks and linking up with each other. I'd like to see a bit more of that. So sorry if that is a bit geeky. My third idea is I think people need a little bit of help in envisioning what it might be in 2030 or 2050 or something like that. And I think we need to get the poets on board and the filmmakers and the novelists and the cartoon makers. We need to get some proper nice visuals about how it's going to be, because it could be really brilliant. That low carbon future is actually rather fun. People don't realise it. They think it's all going to be hair shirt. But I think it could be really nice. So get them artists involved. They help you out. Thank you very much. 3 minutes 21. No keeping. Okay, question from the floor. Very quick there.
What you said about you need an adapter between the Greens and the non-Green people. What you said is right. The Greens, like all this stuff, most people just want to stick with their cars. Do you think the percentage? I know sort of 10 years ago it was considered to be about 10% or so were like Green would actually do something different because they were sort of Green orientated. Do you think that percentage has increased or decreased since then?
Well, I think the percentage of what you call hard greenies has not increased. I think it seems to be naturally 10%. Anyway, it's been like that all my life, really. But now there's this kind of soft zone where people are sort of looking over the fence and saying, I see, those greenies are having a good time. That makes sense. I can't do it because my neighbours will laugh at me. So what it needs is, a part of the adapter plug is kind of respectability. So if you've got a sort of really swanky car club and there's an electric sports car or something that really goes, Jeremy Clarkson would like, then people say, oh, that's interesting, no, I could get into that. Couldn't afford to have one of your own. But the point about these car clubs is there's lots of different vehicles. There's little hydrogen-powered ones, and then there's super duper people carriers, and there's trucks. You can choose, you see, and so it's really nice. So it's a better service than you get if you've got your own. So that should attract people, you know, the sort of the little Jeremy Clarkson inside all of us might go for that, and then we help to dissolve the barriers.
Okay, brilliant. Right, we're on to our last candidate.
Tom, thank you.